Hello, and we are back. We're solving single variable linear equation. This is the second half of the lesson. We are going to be dealing with more complex single variable linear equations in this lesson. You may notice that the word equation implies equal sign, and this does not have an equal sign here. This is not an equation, folks. This is just an expression, and it's asking us to multiply. Notice it's not asking us to solve, because we solve equations, but we, in this case, multiply the constant 3 to these two terms on the inside of the parentheses, okay? A former student of mine showed this way and called it throwing ropes. Kind of interesting. So, negative 3 times 5x, we just throw the ropes there. Okay, so that's negative 15x, and then negative 3 times negative 4, and negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 4 is positive 12, okay? So, we multiply the negative 3 times the two terms, and we get this. Not a big deal, right? We'll practice in a little bit here. Now, there's also something that we need to be able to do, and that is to combine like terms, or collect like terms. In this case, the instructions say simplify. So here we have 15x, actually negative 15x, and positive 7x. We can combine those two. We can't combine them with a plus 12 because it doesn't have a variable x in this case. So we combine the 15x and the 7x. Okay? Negative 15 plus 7 is negative 8x, and then the plus 12 we just slap on the end there. No big deal. Now again, we can't combine this and this because this has an x and this doesn't. Okay? So the reason why we need this for our multivariable solving single variable linear equations is because we need to simplify something that looks like this. Okay, again, there's no equal sign yet because we haven't gotten there. Okay, so we put those two skills together. We distribute negative 15x plus 12 plus 7x. This doesn't change. Notice we don't distribute the negative 3 to the 7x because it's not within the parentheses. And then we combine these two. Oops, almost forgot to put that x there. And this is negative 8x plus 12. Okay, so that's simplifying this whole expression into something a little bit more simple. Okay, now it's your turn to try to simplify something that looks like that. Okay, so go ahead and simplify this. Pause the video and simplify this. When you unpause, it will be solved for you. It will be simplified for you. Okay, pause now. So you can see I distributed and combined like terms. I have negative 15 plus 14x. You may have also written it as 14x minus 15. Either of these is fine. They are the same. Okay? Now, the reason why we're doing all this is to be able to solve this type of equation, okay? Now notice, this should look familiar here, and this should look familiar here. There's an equal sign, and you kind of want to do stuff to both sides, like you just learned. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. But we don't want to do that yet. What you want to do is deal with the parentheses by distributing and combining like terms, and then actually solving it, okay? So, notice that this should be just like what we learned, these two, 8x minus 12, okay? And then over here, this is, actually it's a little different because I think it was a plus 12 before, but it doesn't really matter. And then this is negative 12 plus 14x minus 3, and then these two are negative 15 plus 14x. So we have these two terms on the left side, two terms on the right. Notice we haven't done anything to both sides of the equal sign yet. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We just simplified each side. Okay? So now we're ready. Now we're ready to actually do something to both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other. I want to get x by itself on the left, so I'm going to get rid of plus 14x. I'm going to subtract 14x from both sides. 8x minus 14x is negative 6x. And then I want to get rid of minus 12. So I add 12 to both sides. I have negative 6x equals negative 3. And then finally, I want to get rid of times negative 6. What's the opposite of times negative 6? Divide by negative 6. Okay? It doesn't want to show it. Divide by negative 6. Okay? So negative 6 over negative 6 is 1. 1 times x is x. Negative 3 over negative 6. Okay? Negative 3 over negative 6 is the same thing as negative 3 times 1 over negative 3 times 2. Right? Because negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 over negative 3 is 1. 1 times 1 over 2 is just 1 over 2. So that's why in this case, the answer is x equals 1 over 2. Okay? Now, it's a long process here, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty quick. Okay, so why don't you give it a shot? Go ahead and solve this one. Go ahead and pause the video, give it a shot. When you unpause it, it'll be solved for you to check. Okay? Pause it now. Alrighty, so you can check your work here. Notice I distributed and then combined like terms, and then I did the opposite to each side to get the variable, in this case u, by itself. Okay, so I hope you learned a thing or two, and we'll see you next time. Toodles!